Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the H+H Sports Podcast. I'm Tanner Hicks. And as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Jackson Huey. What a week of football we just watched, man. Some haters are going to say, oh, there's a bunch of blowouts, but you didn't watch the right games. You weren't in the trenches watching every single game like we were. No, welcome back to the podcast. Coming off an excellent week of football, our first week of football. This is like tonight is the first night without football in like 5 days. It's a little weird, but we have a lot of games to go over, a lot of games to pick for next week. First pick'ems for the NFL. Pick'ems. The NFL starts tomorrow as we upload this. Best time of the year, the most wonderful time of the year is when the good sports start. God, I can't wait. Not doing it live this week because I'm going to the Braves game the day that we upload this, so I get to watch the Cardinals play baseball. So
they won tonight, didn't they?
Yeah, we beat the Braves tonight. They just swept the Dodgers and we beat them.
Always right.
I don't know. Cardinals 1-game streak. Look out. I think there's no way we can make the playoffs unless we just completely win out, which is like
obviously
not happening. Yeah. Obviously not happening. Speaking of not happening, was Florida winning on Thursday? Let's jump into the game recaps. I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't learn from all the other games that Florida lost leading up to this, and from Graham Mertz playing quarterback. I don't know. It was the whole thing was, oh, Cam Rising's out. Florida's gonna win. They didn't. If you missed it.
Not even close.
Their first play on defense of the season was like a 75-yard touchdown. That they really set the tone for the season, Billy. Good job. I think he's probably out after this year.
I feel like he's got to give him this year, I think.
As much as I'm all about giving coaches 3 years, I don't think Florida is the type of program to do that. If it's not Dan Mullen, they're going to have a really, really, really short leash on guys. And I think Billy Napier, if he doesn't pick it up and win like 7 or 8 games, show some type of promise and not score more than 11 points, I think he's probably out.
It would help if you could run block too.
Yeah, just a little bit.
You got one of the best running backs in the country and can't run block.
Yeah, Florida, not a great showing, is putting it nicely. Utah with a very impressive showing.
My 3-9 might have been generous.
I had 4-8. Florida looking rough. Utah, impressive win against an SEC opponent. Staying on Thursday, Nebraska, Minnesota, man, what a game. I know it was a barn burner at 13-10, but it was a great game nonetheless. Like, Jeff Sims had a debut. Definitely had a debut. He did, but threw 3 picks and ran way too much at 19 carries to his 19 pass attempts. I think that's probably the way that he'll use them. But I forgot how to say the Minnesota quarterback's name. Kalik Manis. Gus Johnson said it way too much for me to not remember. I think it's Kalik Manis. He threw 44 times. Yeah, this game was absolutely crazy. Just back and forth, good defensive play after good defensive play. And then Minnesota just pulled away at the end. They tied the game with that sick touchdown, and hit the field goal to win it. I was like, I was hoping that he would miss that field goal at the end just so we could see like overtime, just to see how long these two teams would go to overtime for. Just because of how long this game like felt. That would have been pretty hilarious. But Minnesota spoils Matt Rule's first game as Nebraska head coach. Gets the W at home. Moving on to Friday, Miami beats Miami.
Why is that not popping up on my? Oh, I'm on top 25.
Do what?
Never mind.
What did you say?
It wasn't popping up on my ESPN, but I was filtered by top 25.
Oh, okay.
Well, I was confused. Miami beats Miami, yes.
Yeah, moving on to Friday, Miami beats Miami after some talk by Miami towards Miami. Very clear English here. Yeah, Miami kills Miami. I'm going to stop saying Miami. The Hurricanes beat the Red Hawks on Friday. Yeah, Louisville.
Like you said, when you say Miami, people think of beaches, not.
Yeah, Ohio. Yeah. Like, brother. Louisville beats Georgia Tech. Now, 39-34 score. It was definitely. It was a good game, but Georgia Tech made the score look a little bit better at the end.
Yeah.
Louisville pretty much, I don't want to say dominated, but they didn't dominate at all. Georgia Tech dominated, and they had a comeback. I forgot what game I was looking at. Yeah, Georgia Tech was up like 17, 16, 13, 15. Whatever. They were up something, and Louisville comes back, wins the game, and Georgia Tech does make the score look a little better at the end.
They were up 28-13. Yeah, 15.
15. Nobody thought Georgia Tech was going to be any good this year anyway, so first tank job in college football this year by the Yellow Jackets. Stanford beats Hawaii.
My first miss of the pick'ems.
Kansas kind of struggles with Missouri State a little bit in the first half, but they do end up pulling away in the second half. Moving on to Saturday. Memphis destroys Bethune-Cookman after Seth Hennigan throws 2 pick sixes. One was called back, but he threw it. He still throws 2 picks anyway. We're the only 2 that care about this game. But yeah, Memphis.
I'm not too for sure I do.
Memphis kills Bethune-Cookman. I like to see blowouts from my team though. It's a little promising. Georgia destroys UT Martin. As they should. Carson Beck, first game as a starting quarterback for Georgia. Michigan handles East Carolina, and Harbaugh's first game suspended. Now, Ohio State and Indiana, this was a little interesting to me because Kyle McCord.
The first ever Big Ten CBS game.
Yeah, that was weird listening to Brad Nessler call an Ohio State game. But Kyle McCord didn't play great, but he also didn't play too bad.
Didn't Marvin Harrison only have like 1 catch?
He had 2 for 18.
It was a very run heavy offense Saturday.
It wasn't even. It was a pass heavy offense because McCord threw 239 yards. I
thought I saw something since they ran the ball or a highlight. I didn't watch the game. I watched the highlights on Sports Center.
Like Ohio State.
They said they ran the ball a lot or something.
They did. They just didn't get as many yards as you would expect Ohio State to get. You usually expect around 200 plus yards from Ohio State. They only got about 115, 120. in a college game is not really what you 120 yards rushing in the NFL is, promising, like something you'd obviously take. But college, especially a team like Ohio State, you would expect to have around 200, 250 plus. Not something you're really looking for, especially against a team like Indiana, who doesn't really have much promise in the Big Ten this year. They completed 9 passes on Saturday. Yeah, maybe Ohio State team to look out. Their defense played excellent, though. I mean, it was IU, but excellent performance from the defense. You take that, but the offense wasn't really hot. Alabama handles MTSU. USC handles Nevada. Penn State against West Virginia. Now, I know the final score says, we shouldn't talk about this game, but I don't know, man. Penn State, I have them in the playoff, and Drew Aller had a great starting debut. Like, I loved what I saw from Drew Aller. It's just the rest of the team kind of You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just, like, West Virginia's obviously, a Big 12 team. They're not going to just lay down, but I don't know. I just didn't feel like this was as dominant as a win as Penn State should have made it. Boise State, Washington. I said that Boise State has a chance of upsetting Washington, and Washington said no. Michael Penix throws 5 touchdowns, and Washington scores 56 points after not scoring in the first quarter. Sorry, Washington. Texas kind of struggles against Rice a little bit. Like, it was 16-3 at halftime. And at first, this was looking like a classic Texas, like, struggle against bad team win. And then they obviously pull away in the second half. Don't score in the fourth quarter, but, they pull away enough to where it doesn't matter. Tennessee kills Virginia. They had, like, the guy that survived the gunshot lead out the tunnel, and then Tennessee said, okay, we don't care.
Tennessee kind of struggled early, too. I don't think it's nothing to be concerned about. One thing, Tennessee can run the football. So if
that's the focal point of that offense is run first. Which with the type of offense that Heupel has, with the type of offense that Heupel has, you really don't think an offense like that is run first because it's a really mostly they're wide set formations and it's shotgun heavy offense. You really wouldn't think it's a run heavy offense, but it is. That's like spread offenses like that are mainly run heavy. That's how play action and passes get so open.
They have 3 guys. They have a 3-headed monster, really. They can just carry the rock.
Jabari Small is still there, right?
Yeah. And Dylan Sampson. And
Sampson had 4
Jalen
touchdowns.
Wright.
Like Jalen Wright has the most yards, and then
Jalen Wright ran for 115. Jabari Small ran for 67, and Dylan Sampson ran for 52 and 3 touchdowns.
He had 4 total.
Yeah, I think it looks like Dylan Sampson probably got all the red zone touches.
3-headed monster running back for Tennessee is scary. Notre Dame handles Tennessee State.
And it's a lot better than last year for Notre Dame. This time last year, Notre Dame was 0-2 with a loss to Marshall.
0-2 with a loss to Marshall. Good gracious. Yeah, luckily, Sam Hartman's there to help with that. Oregon scores 81 points.
Yeah, and as you
scores
saw,
81 points.
As you saw in our opener, had the mascot gasping for air.
Yeah, did how many push-ups did he do?
It was like 500 and something.
Like, bro was like, please stop scoring. I'm not built. This is why I'm the mascot. Golly. Okay.
You would think that Like, imagine taking the under in that because you thought Oregon was going to take it easy because it's an in-state school. Like, maybe smaller school, they might take it easy on them, and then they come out and just throttle them 81-0. 81-7.
81. I don't remember the last time I watched a team score 80.
Didn't LSU and Texas A&M score like that many? And it was like 7 overtimes that year?
They had, it was 70. Each team had 70. And it was like 7 overtimes. And Coach O had to coach all those overtimes in sticky Gatorade clothes because they thought they won the game. Yeah, Oregon, 81 points, mascot dies. Kansas State handles Southeast Missouri, as we thought. Moving on to the game of the year so far, after 1 week, sure. But to the game of the year so far. Deion Sanders and Colorado shocked the nation, except for themselves, and beat 17th ranked TCU.
If I remember correctly, one of us picked Colorado to win this game.
I know I picked TCU. Hush. I picked TCU. Sue me. Colorado beats TCU on the road. Shadur Sanders breaks every Colorado record in his first start for the Buffaloes. And Colorado wins 45-42.
Travis Hunter's the best player in the country. Hands down.
I don't know about hands down. He might be the most talented, but I don't think he's the best. I will say this. This game right here was probably the most fun I've ever had watching a football game. Just because it's like you have like the fun factor of Colorado, right? Everybody's new, all this type of stuff. But then TCU plays their part of the bargain besides winning and puts up 42 points. Amani Bailey, 164 yards. Trey Sanders had 3 touchdowns, Alabama transfer. Chandler Morris you'd want a better start out of him against a defense like Colorado. That's his first start after being injured. And, TCU made it an amazing game. I thought near the end that TCU was going to force a turnover or something. And it was going to be like this, anticlimactic loss for Colorado. But no, Colorado stuck to the very end. Shadur Sanders throws for 500 yards and 4 touchdowns on 80+% completion. Dylan Edwards has 4 total touchdowns in his first collegiate game, true freshman. Colorado has 4 different guys have 100+ receiving yards. Insane. And Deion's son led them in tackles. Like, an absolute crazy, crazy game. Most fun I had watching football.
I don't think you'll see a defensive back make a better play all year than that interception that Travis Hunter made.
And you see that clip of the kids in the stands saying, "Throw it to Travis Hunter." Braden, Hayden, and Caden were devastated.
Before the game, they were telling him that he was overrated.
Yeah, it was good Lord, man. I don't think we'll see a game that exciting. I mean, we probably will because it's college football, but just with the whole Deion's debut and TCU coming off a national championship appearance and the turnover of that team, it's like everything building up to that game and the fact that game turned out like that. We probably don't see another a game as exciting as that the entire year. I
don't know. It's gonna be tough, but who knows?
Talking about exciting, let's move on to disappointment. As 2 guys high on South Carolina stinks the bed against North Carolina. Did I pick South Carolina to win this game?
No, you picked North Carolina.
Oh, I did. I picked North Carolina.
I picked South Carolina. You did pick South Carolina to win 9 games, though.
I did. Bro, Spencer Rattler might die before the season ends. Spencer Rattler might die if this offensive line stays intact the way it is now, the way it was on Saturday. Rattler might not make it through the season. But yeah, North Carolina is a really, really, really good football team, and it showed on Saturday. They handled South Carolina. I don't think South Carolina had a chance, especially.
And they don't have their top receiver.
They don't, but especially going into the second half, like it was done. Like we said, like the whole game. I didn't think South Carolina had a chance. Christian Wood signs with the Lakers.
There you go. We got some Ball Oasis breaking news on H+H Podcast.
Christian Wood signs with the Lakers. Ball Oasis ain't got it like us. Breaking news. Anyway, North Carolina handles South Carolina.
Speaking of handles, Oklahoma handles Arkansas State.
Butch Jones was literally in tears on the sideline. Literally came to tears, which I know you're a coach and you're supposed to be all big and tough, but I don't know if I blame the guy. Yeah. You take a 7. You do all this spring training and all this, training camp and all this stuff the whole offseason to prepare your guys for week 1, and you get a 73 spot on your head and you score nothing. I would cry too.
Well, let's hope they don't score this week either.
Yeah, we're prone to letting Arkansas State score a few points.
A few.
Yeah.
We're 21.5 point favorites.
We're 21.5 point favorite. I think anybody's a 21.5 point favorite after the thrashing that they got on Saturday.
Yeah. Your favorite team won. Iowa beat Utah State.
I'm proud of them. They got pushed out of the top 25 for some reason after winning. And Clemson's still in. We'll get to Clemson later, but I was knocked out of the top 25 after winning. Terrible.
Pitiful.
What other game can we talk about on Saturday?
Fresno State upset Purdue.
Oh, beats Purdue. No Jay Kaner. Doesn't matter. Is he been gone? Never mind.
Hangs 73 on Mercer.
And you didn't think Jackson Dart was going to start. All 3 of the QBs played.
Even Walker or even Will Howard. Is it Walker Howard or Will Howard?
I think it's Walker Howard. I think that all 3 of the QBs playing is hilarious. Why I have to yawn so bad? I'm not even tired. Emory Jones has a really, really good debut for Cincinnati. Cincinnati's first game as part of the Big 12.
And under new head coach.
And new head coach, Emory Jones, 5 touchdowns. Proud of the guy. Sucked the last 2 destinations. Finally gets it done in Cincinnati. No other games on Saturday.
USC throttles Nevada. Speaking of, the Pac-12 went 13-0 on Saturday.
They did last year for the Pac-12. They're getting it done. You think a Pac-12 team makes the playoff?
Texas A&M throttles New Mexico.
UTSA Houston. I didn't watch this game.
I didn't either.
Looks like it was a good game, like it was last year.
Texas State gets their first ever Power 5 win.
Bro, I'm not even tired. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. Like, you know when you hold back a yawn?
Yeah.
It's like it's still there a little bit, but you know, you hold it back. Like I can't even do that. Like I don't know why these yawns are just coming out.
Texas State gets their first ever Power 5 win over Baylor.
Mini Colorado, Texas State. Baylor got embarrassed at home. Like just
punch in the mouth.
Straight embarrassed by Texas State. Shout out Brady McBride, but embarrassed.
Vanderbilt is 2-0 and number 1 in the East.
They're dancing in the streets in Nashville. Just Vanderbilt's never been 2-0 ever.
We'll have a challenge to get to 3-0 at Wake Forest next week. Or this week.
Wake Forest is kind of poopy.
I know, but
now that everybody's gone, Vanderbilt might be 3-0 after next week.
Vanderbilt's number 1 in the East right now. I'm just saying.
Vanderbilt's cooking. On the Vanderbilt train, we go. UCLA beats Coastal, but
wait a minute.
Before they sub Dante Moore in.
Okay, that makes sense. Never mind.
Before they sub Dante Moore in, it was kind of shaky. Coastal was hanging in there a little bit too long. Then Dante Moore comes in, number 1 quarterback recruit this year, and he handles business. UCLA wins that. Now on to Sunday, the game we've been waiting for all weekend. Northwestern Rutgers. And Rutgers.
We might have been right. I watched a little bit of this game. We might have been right about Northwestern not winning a game.
Northwestern is so terrible. Like, I don't mean to be hurtful. Okay? But this Northwestern team might has a chance to be the worst Power 5 team of all time. Like, actually. Like, Arizona in 2020 has a case. Colorado last year has a case. I can't really think of other ones. Like Baylor in 2017 probably has a case. But Northwestern this season has a chance to be real, like, so awful.
Yeah.
Oregon State handles San Jose.
San Jose is amazing.
San Jose has had a rough draw of a schedule so far. But DJ, I don't know. I don't know. I'll get to that later. But it's supposed to be the game of the week. LSU Florida State. I know I picked LSU for this game.
No, you picked Florida State.
Did I?
Yeah, you flipped it. I picked LSU.
Well,
I got some things to get off my chest about this game.
All right, go ahead.
It doesn't make sense to me why you only rush Harold Perkins 7 times the whole game. Like, that's when
they were talking about that on the broadcast. They're trying to turn him into this off-ball linebacker.
It's not where he plays. Like, he's at his best when he's disrupting plays in the backfield.
And then Fowler was talking about Perkins wasn't even a starter on the team starting last season, and then they sub him in and he shows this elite promise that pass rusher turns into this absolute freak. Why not just keep him at edge? Why do you have to turn him into this?
Now you want to you want to spy him the whole game? That don't make any sense.
I mean, he's athletic enough to do it, but it's like that's not what he should be doing.
That hurt him a lot, I think. But like, there's some stuff that like coaching couldn't control. Like I thought Jaden Daniels looked solid. I thought there's like drop balls he can't control. Like
Yeah, the receivers were struggling to catch the ball.
Blocking was pretty bad.
Like, outside of Jaden Daniels, they really didn't have a running game.
Yeah, I would agree.
Like, Trey Bradford only carried the ball 4 times. He's not a feature back, but their backs each carry the ball 4 times.
I'm not overreacting to this LSU disappointment, I guess you'd call it.
I mean, LSU led for most of the first half.
I'm not overreacting to this because this is the same team that got throttled by Tennessee in Death Valley last year and made the SEC championship game. So
just absolutely pumped.
So
I picked him to win that game too. Yeah, Harold Perkins.
I'm not overreacting to it too much, but they gotta play Harold Perkins like he needs to be played. Like
you just can't you just can't not put Harold Perkins on the edge.
Exactly.
There's no, like,
that's what I'm
even
saying.
with how experienced this FSU team is and how with how good that we think FSU is going to be, nobody on that team could block Harold Perkins. Just can't. Simply.
I seen a tweet and I do agree with it. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Like, when Harold Perkins was so promising as an edge player as he was last year, especially like towards the end when he just was so dominant. What's the need to change his position when he's an edge? He's shown that he's an edge. Like, I don't see the point in not bringing him off the edge, but I don't know. Go ahead.
I seen a tweet the other night and I do agree with it. And it said that Joe Burrow could have been playing quarterback for the LSU and they just still lost the game.
Yeah, LSU was pitiful. Like, they scored 24 and kind of made it a game in the first half, but Florida State kind of ran all over them this game.
I mean, LSU came out and punched them in the mouth and then went down and Florida State stopped them.
No, I think Florida State started with all the momentum. LSU absolutely drives down the field with no.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. When they started going down the field like that, that's where I'm getting at.
Then FSU, they had 2 goal line stands this game, 2 4th down stops inside the 5, and then on that first stop, LSU had I think it was 6 plays inside the 5-yard line, and they didn't score. I knew it was. I don't know, man. That's troubling, especially with a mobile quarterback. You can't get in the end zone. And you have a 3-back rotation, and a guy like Malik Neighbors, and you can't get in the end zone. Little troubling. Maybe Florida State's that good.
Maybe.
Was sad to see Brock Glenn not get reps at the end of the game, but Deuce Spahn did.
He did pop on the screen a couple times.
Like, at the end of the game, he was everywhere on the screen.
I seen him a couple times when they scored.
Yeah, Jaheim Bell, though, after not being featured in the first half, has a rushing touchdown where he just buries a guy, and a receiving touchdown.
Jane Daniels tried to kill himself trying to jump into a pile of.
Tweet said when you accidentally press the hurdle button. Quarterback power, and then you accidentally hurdle.
There's no way he didn't get a butt chewing after that. Like, bro, you can't do that.
What did you think was gonna happen, brother? Like, what? But yeah, Florida State pumps LSU in, a very disappointing outcome. But Florida State, top 4 in the nation now. Now,
I picked Jordan Travis for the Heisman 2 weeks ago. Just saying.
Now, the dessert of Labor Day weekend, we have
the cherry on top.
Duke, Clemson.
In football, not basketball.
One of your predictions is already out the door. Already out the door.
Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news: Clemson football will not be going undefeated.
Duke killed Clemson in football. First time that's happened since the 80s.
1989. Duke beat Clemson to go to the ACC championship game.
I thought Duke was going to be a little decent this year. But Duke
got ranked off this, right? 21, right?
Yeah, they're in the rankings. This wasn't like like a back and forth game the whole time. Like it's not like, Duke was just on it and then, they get a 2-point conversion to win or something. Like, no, they killed Clemson. Like, they murdered them. It wasn't after halftime. It wasn't close. And I see people like going for Dabo's head. Like he's on the hot seat now. I don't know, depending on who you ask, maybe, but I don't think so.
I saw a thing today. It said Garrett Riley was brought in to bring a championship offense to Clemson, and it said based on the championship game last year, 7 points is a championship offense.
Yeah, they're already doing as well as a championship team last year, but it's like
no, but one thing I noticed is like I don't think, and even Dabo said it. Like I wish I could find that quote. And it was like, he's going to run the Clemson offense or something like that. Did you see that quote?
About Garrett Riley?
Yeah.
I think you just let Garrett Riley do what he does. And
that's what I'm saying. Like, they didn't never throw the ball downfield last night or Monday night. Like did TCU threw the ball downfield last year? Am I wrong? I thought I remember them throwing the ball downfield a lot.
Yeah, they did. They also they ran a ball a decent bit too, and they showed that here with Will Shipley. Like, it's not like Clemson wasn't moving, right? But what's funny to me is Will Shipley had 114 yards, but his longest was 18. It's kind of funny. Regardless, it's not like Clemson couldn't just move the ball.
Here it is. Here's the quote.
Like, they had like 400 plus total offense.
He said, well, it's the Clemson offense. We've always collaborated as a staff. We hired Garrett to come in here and coordinate the Clemson offense.
See, then there's no point. His offense is a big reason why TCU was so good last year.
Yeah, I would agree. But at the same time, Garrett Riley or Dabo Swinney or any other coach is not the reason why Clemson had 2 fumbles in the red zone and missed 2 field goals.
Yeah, it's like they had no problem moving the ball. They just couldn't score. Like,
if they don't fumble twice in the red zone, don't get a field goal block, and don't shank a field goal, it's 27-13.
Like, you have more yards than Duke, not by a crazy amount, but you have more total offensive yards, and you lose by 21.
You could also flip that around because Duke spotted them 7 by muffing a punt.
Like, yeah, Duke was like, I thought Clemson is getting momentum right there, and I was like, oh yeah, Clemson's gonna break away after that.
Like, Duke could shut them out. Really.
Like,
Duke is
after
one.
That,
if Duke catches that punt, they shut Clemson out. That's crazy.
It's just perplexing. With, like, is Duke's defense like? It's not like, like all Duke's defense just shutting things down. Clemson had 400 plus yards of offense.
Yeah, I was just saying.
It's just a self-inflicted loss. I think
Clemson's offense is pretty average. Like, they don't have those 5s. Like, it's weird. They don't have those 5 stars like they've had.
Like, Will Shipley's the only just premier playmaker that I could think of on that offense. Outside of that, it's not really.
Elijah K. Klubnik is not winning the Heisman.
Safe to say. When you have 43 completions and only have 209 yards and 1 touchdown, or 43 attempts for 209 yards against Duke, I don't know, man. I think Clemson will bounce back and have a decent year, but they're definitely not a playoff team.
Duke fans have been waiting forever to storm the field like that.
Yeah, they do it all. They do it during basketball season. I don't remember the last time Duke was like good at football. Like they were cool last year, but I don't remember the last time.
Wouldn't it be like Daniel Jones last year?
I don't think Duke was ever good with Daniel Jones there. Yeah, that was Labor Day. That was Labor Day weekend. College football, always a great week one of college football. But now we pick for week 2. Ladies and gentlemen, we're on to week 2 of football season. It's already flying by. First day without football. There's already football again in 2 days. And that's the NFL. We'll get to the NFL in a minute. I've been waiting for NFL. Love the NFL.
Let's start with these pick'ems. Let's start with Thursday night football in college. I try to get a game on every day that there is one game out. At least one on every day that there's one out. You know what I mean? Like,
just let them rip, bub.
Murray State versus Louisville.
Oh, boy. Cannot wait for Murray State, Louisville.
We will be watching Kansas City and Detroit.
Yeah, NFL is taking priorities over Murray State, Louisville. Sorry to say.
I'm going Louisville. I'm sure you are too. Oh, wait. Let's back up for a second. We almost forgot the pick'em records from last week.
Are we tied?
Coming in, Tanner, after week 1 is 20-5. Myself.
Who did I miss?
Tanner
we obviously missed the Clemson game.
Tanner missed Florida, UTSA, TCU, and Clemson.
That's 4.
Who else did you miss? Hold on, 1, 2. And wait. And Purdue.
Oh yeah. Freaking Purdue.
And then myself coming in at 19-6.
That's cool, baby.
I would miss Hawaii, Purdue, UTSA, South Carolina, LSU, and Clemson.
Let's get it, boys. Already starting with W's.
Try to make up some ground this week.
All right, no more stupid Florida picks this week. I'm going all in, balls to the wall, getting dubs with this pick.
I don't think Florida made the pick'em list this week, so
no fun picks. That's actually crazy. You didn't even put them in for me, just to get baited.
Who do they even play? Florida. I forgot. Who do they play? I forgot.
No, I'm not going with the fun pick like I always did. If I just didn't go for fun picks last year, I would have killed you.
Florida plays McNeese, so I'm not putting them in here.
No, they might lose that game.
On Friday, Illinois plays Kansas.
Oh. It's such a mid-game that I don't know who to go with.
That's why I put it on here. Those are the good ones. Those are the good ones. Those are the win or lose the pick'em season games right there.
This is such a basketball school game. Illinois, Kansas. Like what?
This is a football game. This is a football game.
This is a stinky game. This is a very stinky game.
I'm gonna go Kansas.
I'll go with Illinois. Just because you went Kansas. I didn't know who to pick. I was gonna pick who you didn't. Give me the Fighting Illini.
On to our next game. This is a 10 o'clock game. I really don't know why, or 10 o'clock my time, probably 11 o'clock your time. Vanderbilt, Wake Forest.
They play at 11. What? I'm eating breakfast at 11. And they're gearing up to play football.
It's 10 o'clock my time, 11 o'clock your time. Usually the games start at 11 o'clock my time, 12 o'clock your time. I don't know why they're playing at 10 o'clock. Wake Forest comes in favored by 10.
10-point favorite for the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. Now let's look at a deep dive. I want to get real nitty gritty with these pickups. Okay, I'm trying to whoop you in this record. Okay, who is Griffiths? I don't know. Didn't watch Wake Forest. Mitch Griffiths. Okay. 3 touchdowns to 1 pick in his start this year. D. Claiborne, 13 carries for 70 yards and a touchdown. Jay Banks, 6 receiving yards for 100, or 6 receptions for 100 yards and a touchdown. This is if I just didn't care, I'm definitely picking Vanderbilt here just because.
I am picking Vanderbilt here.
But Vanderbilt is 4-1 in their last 5 games. How about it, Vandy? Their only loss is 56-0 to Tennessee. Love it. I'm gonna go with Wake. I'm gonna go with Wake Forest. So I feel like, if Wake is favored by 10, then there's, something obviously I don't know.
Same. Now to the 11 o'clock slate, or the 12 o'clock slate. Notre Dame, NC State.
Give me the Irish.
Yeah, same.
Notre Dame is killing teams to start the year. Again, they're not playing anybody good, but they didn't play anybody good last year in Marshall, but they still lost. So it's all uphill this year for top 10 ranked Notre Dame now. We're going to go with the Irish. They're only favored by 7.5, but with how NC State played last week, not showing much against who they played, I want to go with Notre Dame.
Moving on. Can Baylor bounce back when Utah comes to Waco?
No. No.
Okay. I'm taking Utah
too. If Baylor beats Utah at home after getting
it would be such a Baylor win though.
After it would be like it would be.
It'd be such a Baylor thing to do.
Like, absolutely pumped.
Hold on.
You go and beat 12 Utah at home. Like you get absolutely pummeled by a Sun Belt team at home. And then the very next week, 7 days later, you beat Utah. Get out of here. The fact that Utah's only favored by 7.5 is kind of eh.
Why are they doing that? They only gave them 6.5 against Florida.
They're respecting Utah like that. At Cam Rising plays, I have Utah by 50. I won't say that, but Utah. I'll say Utah. Regardless.
Troy versus Kansas State. I don't know why I put this game on here.
Now, Troy won 12 games last year.
That is true.
I think. 11 or 12.
The line. Kansas State's favored by 16.5. I really probably shouldn't put this game on here, but it's on here, so.
I'm going to go with Troy. I'm just playing. I'm going to go with Kansas State. Dude, the fun in me just wants to pick, like, the fun games. Like, the fun outcome.
Here we go. Nebraska at Colorado. Ranked Colorado now.
All-time rivalry here. I'm surprised. Like, I would like for this game to be like the week, like the rivalry week game, because this is such an iconic rivalry. Tickets are as low as $342 for this game. First home game for Dion.
As low as what'd you say?
Tickets are as low as $340 for this game.
Yeah, I remember saying some were. I remember seeing some of them were like 400 and something. So I was like, I didn't catch your number. My bad. I was reading on the
first home game. Our first home game for primetime in Colorado.
That place is gonna be packed. That place is gonna be so packed.
I don't know, man. I don't really like. Minnesota was a good team last year, and they were like a top 10 defense for most of the year. I don't know.
All the Broncos fans move their money from Broncos season tickets to Colorado season tickets.
Yeah, Colorado might be better than the Broncos. I think Colorado's going to have their work cut out for them a little bit more this week because I think Nebraska is definitely going to have a better defense at TCU. From the way Nebraska played last week, I don't know if I could pick them right now.
I'm going Colorado again. I might be like the Florida. Colorado might be my Florida. I might just pick them every week.
I'll go with. Actually, yeah, I'll go with Colorado too. I don't know. Nebraska's such like a tough, this is gonna be such a tough game.
If this was at Nebraska, I might would go Nebraska.
I would definitely pick Nebraska if this was a home game for them. But I don't know. This is Deion's first home game. I don't know if he feels like he can lose. I think this is a must-win game for Deion. First home game. That.
You talk all that after you beat TCU, which I'm not to take anything away from Deion, but TCU lost a lot.
They lost everyone.
Not to take anything away from that win, it's still impressive.
TCU lost literally everyone, except for one or two guys on defense. Lost literally everybody.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna go. I'm gonna go with Colorado.
Yes.
I think the first home game for Deion. I hate to say this is a must-win game for a coach's second game, but the way that he's been talking, I don't think Deion can afford to lose this game.
Yeah. Purdue versus West Virginia. I mean, not. Holy. It's late. Purdue versus Virginia Tech.
Oh, boy. Can't wait to watch this game.
Virginia Tech favored by 3.
How? Virginia Tech is terrible. Ever since they fired
Fuente,
they've been atrocious. It's in Blacksburg, though. I'm going to go Virginia Tech.
I'm going to go Purdue.
Why not?
I'm going to go Purdue to bounce back. I like this. We're picking different players, different games. I got another barn burner for you here. Another barn burner. James Madison versus at Virginia. James Madison is a 6-point favorite.
You can't tell me these campuses aren't like 5 miles from each other. Like they're like the same place.
I'm picking James Madison in this game.
They're favored by 6. Oh boy. Is Virginia that terrible? Wow.
On the road, 6 on the road. Being at home gives you what, 3?
When you're a Power 5 team playing a sub-belt team and you're favored to lose at home, give me Virginia. They take the disrespect personally. That might be the dumbest pick of the night, but Virginia takes the disrespect personally, and they go out and they get a W.
Ole Miss travels to New Orleans to play Tulane.
It'll be such a fun game to watch.
It'll be a fun game to watch, and it's at 2:30. I thought it was a night game.
Oh man. Huh.
I don't even know who to pick here.
Give me Ole Miss. I'm gonna go with the Land Sharks. What are they? They're the Rebels. Give me Ole Miss on the road. They don't cover, but they win.
What is the line? 7.5. I'm gonna go Tulane just because you went Ole Miss.
That'll be. I'm gonna make sure I catch this game for sure.
I'm gonna go Tulane at home with the upset. Texas A&M at Miami.
Oh dear, I'm gonna have a seizure watching this game.
You won't be watching it because you'll be watching the Ole Miss Tulane game.
Oh boy. Miami and Texas A&M were good in their first game. I don't know.
I'm probably gonna go Texas A&M.
You're looking at the rank number.
I'm
gonna go with the Canes at the U.
I did have Miami first, and then I decided I'm gonna change it.
I'm gonna go with the Canes at Hard Rock at the U. At the U. As much as I hate it. Man, I was gonna hate picking A&M too.
Your favorite team's coming back up. Iowa at Iowa State.
The Donald Trump Bowl, for some reason.
Was that part of his arrest? As he had to go watch this game?
That's part of his bail. You have to take me to Iowa State at Iowa, as well as pay this amount of money. It's Iowa at Iowa State.
Same thing.
Iowa State by 4. You know, with the disrespect, I think Iowa feels disrespected after being brought out of the top 25 after winning. It was the opposite for like Texas last year. Texas was unranked after, like when they lost to Alabama, and then the next week they got ranked after losing to Alabama.
I'm going Iowa too.
Iowa. That means they're gonna lose. I'm less hate towards Iowa because I picked them to win the West or the East. Big Ten West. I think it's the West.
Another game that probably shouldn't have been on here, but I put it on here just because of Michael Penix Jr. Tulsa versus Washington.
Washington gets arrested for murder for what they do to Tulsa.
Washington's only favored by 34.5.
No, they get arrested for domestic abuse, just like the Dodgers pitcher. Current events lining up. The
Texas
Dodgers have a way
State.
with pitchers.
Oh, Texas State at UTSA.
Ooh.
Fun little game on ESPN Plus.
UTSA is favored by 12.5. See, watch. UTSA is going to kill them. I'm going to go with UTSA at home.
Yeah, I'm going UTSA. I'd love to buy into the Texas State hype, but
the much hype that Texas State has.
the week 1 hype, let's put it that way. This game's only on here because it was a good game last year. Appalachian State at North Carolina.
UNC by 40.
I'm just saying, I only put it on here because
it was such a good game last year. Like it was like 60 something to like they both had 60.
I'm going North Carolina too. I just put it on here because of how good of a game it was last year.
Game starts at 5:15. What?
What an odd time.
5:15. That's like a baseball time. Baseball times are always weird. First pitch time is always like 4:18 or something.
Cincinnati at Pitt.
Ooh. Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. Emory Jones showed promise last week. Pitt's favored to win by what?
7.5. Give me Cincinnati.
On the road?
On the road.
This game's on CW? what are we watching? The Flash? What? CW. Give me Pittsburgh. at home. CW, what? What else was on CW? Wasn't like WWE on CW at one point?
I think like Memphis Wrestling is.
Like wasn't ECW on CW at one point?
Maybe.
That's crazy. We couldn't fit you in on our ESPN slots. Even CBS and Fox didn't want. CBS Sports Network didn't even want to cover you. So we're gonna pay CW to get you for 1 week, just so you could be televised this year.
Moving on to Fox. Oregon versus Texas Tech.
Texas Tech with a bad but electric loss to Wyoming.
Obviously, I'm taking Oregon. Obviously, I'm taking Oregon in this game.
What I just realized though is Oregon had two like completely different starts to the season, like between this year and last year, because they got absolutely pumped by Georgia last year, and like this year, they killed Portland State. I'm gonna go with Oregon. They're only favored by 6.5.
That's crazy. Lubbock is a hard place to win, though.
It is, but I'm going to go with Oregon, and I'm going to pick them to cover.
UCF at Boise State.
Give me UCF. UCF was dominant.
I'm going UCF
Boise State.
Too.
I know Boise State, they played a top 10 team and Heisman candidate Michael Penix, but they kind of disappointed me a little bit. I had them coming out of the group of 5 I had them representing the group of 5 in the New Year's 6, so they disappointed me, so I'm UCF.
I didn't have this game on here, but now that I look at it, you think we should pick Houston and Rice?
No.
Okay.
They're having a mid-off.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, Wisconsin at Washington State.
Ooh.
I'm going Wisconsin because I have them winning the
Big Ten West.
Yeah, Big Ten West.
Give me Wazoo.
Like him.
In Pullman. I don't know. Cam Ward had a great week
Pullman's
1.
also a tough place to win.
Give me Wazoo at Pullman. They get a ranked win at home.
Arizona travels to Starkville to play the Mississippi State Bulldogs.
This has to be like the first time this has ever happened.
What?
Like Arizona going to Mississippi State? What?
I'm taking the Bulldogs.
Me too. I had the Dogs winning 9 games, so Elijah, get ready to be 1-1 because we both picked the Dogs.
UCLA travels to San Diego, long haul, to play San Diego State.
California's a big state. It is a long haul, probably.
It might.
San Diego State's 2-0. UCLA struggled a little bit before they put in Dante Moore, but Dante Moore was the missing piece. I'm gonna go with UCLA. Chip Kelly also not happy with the rule changes. It was a funny little interview at the end of the game. I agree with him. The rule changes suck because nobody likes shorter football games.
Some of these games I just throw in here to give us a couple free wins on the week. This is one of them. Stanford versus USC.
I picked Stanford to beat USC last year. I had this as my upset pick.
You're running that back?
You know what? No. USC's favored by 30 against the conference opponent. Are you kidding? Give me USC. This is a USC loss though, for sure. They lose this game and then they'll like kill Utah or something. Like, yeah, give me USC by 90. But if they lose, I also just wouldn't be surprised.
Auburn goes out west to play California.
This is also the backwards of the Arizona Mississippi State game. Like Auburn's going to Berkeley.
Well, last year, Mississippi State went to Arizona.
Oh, they're doing a home for home thing.
Yeah.
Brother, has Auburn ever played at 10:30? Them boys are asleep. Give me Cal at home. We talked about Cal. They might be a little sleeper with all the guys they bring back. Give me Cal at home.
I'm going to take Auburn.
Switch it up. Go Cal.
The last pick'em game of the week. Oklahoma State at Arizona State.
Give me Oklahoma State.
I'm going Arizona State. I like this. We picked a lot of different games. Like, this is going to be a good week for, somebody's going to pull away this week.
Looks like it.
Somebody's gonna bust this thing open this week.
I like Oak State. I like Oak State in that game.
You like Oak State?
Moving on, finally.
Hold on,
For the first time.
I was trying to say something. I couldn't find it.
Kind of repeated me in a little weird way there. I didn't know what.
No, I was like, you like Oak State, the team that beat Central Arkansas by 14.
Yes. Oak State hasn't missed a bowl game in 30 years or something.
That's true.
I don't know what it has that doing with them beating Arizona State, but it's part of my reasoning. Moving on to the NFL. For the first time this season, the NFL games are being talked about. Tomorrow, as we drop this, game 1 of the NFL season.
Back up. We have one more game.
One more game?
Texas travels to Tuscaloosa.
You forgot that game.
I've saved it for last and forgot I skipped it.
You forgot that game. The game.
You didn't even catch it.
Because you were like, all right, last game.
I forgot I skipped it.
Beforehand, I was like, you were talking about USC Stanford. I was like, is he going to talk about Alabama, Texas? And then you moved on to Auburn, California. And then you were like, all right, last game with Oak State and Arizona State. So it already left my mind at that point.
All right, let's.
The game you missed was Alabama, Texas.
I didn't miss it. I have it.
Brother.
But I have it in the middle because I went by time slots.
What's hilarious to me is that the harder ticket to get. The harder ticket to get is Colorado's game than this game. I mean, Bryant-Denny Stadium is way bigger, so they have more seats to fill. But I do.
Texas travels to Alabama to play Alabama, or to Tuscaloosa to play Alabama.
I hope that this is a good game.
I'm gonna give me Texas.
You're gonna go Texas on the road.
Give me Texas.
That gives me the reason to go to Alabama. Jalen Milroe.
Nick Saban is probably gonna make me eat my words.
Jalen Milroe was really good against the mighty Blue Raiders last week. I think he struggles against Texas this week, but I think Alabama's defense gets it done like they did last year. I don't know if they'll hold Texas to 19, but they'll get the job done. Give me Alabama.
All right, now go through the whole NFL spiel again you went through.
We're going to leave the other spiel in. We're going to do it twice. Moving on to the NFL for the first time this season. We get the patented Thursday kickoff game on NBC. Lions, Chiefs.
Now let me get this straight. We're picking every NFL game this year, right?
Yes.
That's what I
No
thought.
point to skip any, to be honest. Lions, Chiefs. Chiefs coming off a Super Bowl victory. Some would call it cupcake with the flag call, but who cares? There's another season in front of us. I'm going with Kansas City. It looks like without Travis Kelce and Chris Jones, probably they're 2 and they're 3 behind Patrick Mahomes, but it's the Chiefs in game 1 of the season.
I think we've all been proven time and time again that it doesn't matter who's catching the ball as long as Patrick Mahomes is throwing it.
We learned that last year when his best wideout was Boo Boo Smith-Schuster.
Give me Kansas City as well.
We're going to go with the Chiefs. Tennessee, New Orleans. In New Orleans. God, I want to pick the Titans so bad. We lost our season opener last year.
Give me the Titans.
Blew the game. Yeah, give me the Titans. We're not keeping up with NFL Pick'em records. Give me Tennessee. Prove the haters wrong, even though I have them missing the playoffs.
prove that hater wrong right here.
Please prove me wrong. Please win more than 7 games. I would love to be proven wrong. Fun matchup here on Fox at 1 p.m. Panthers-Falcons. Bryce Young, first game in the NFL, and then we have Bijan's first game on the other side. Great NFC South matchup.
Give me Bryce Young's first career win.
I'm going to go with the Falcons at home. I think they get it done. Falcons are favored by 3.5 at home. Home field matters a little bit more in the NFL.
It does. It does.
A lot of division matchups. We have the Bengals and I think the AFC North always has a division matchup to start out because the Bengals played the Steelers week 1 last year. And I'm going to keep the same trend of that. Bengals usually don't win week 1 games. Give me the Browns at home.
Yeah, I'm going to go Bengals.
Browns at home. Deshaun Watson gets it done.
As long as Joe Burrow doesn't come out and throw 6 interceptions like he did in the opener last year.
He threw I think he threw 3 interceptions and 2 pick sixes or something.
Yeah, the Steelers had me convinced that Joe Burrow was a bust. Was a one-hit wonder.
Yeah, the Steelers were elite last year. Jaguars, Colts.
Give me the Jags.
You know, the Jags won this game in 2020. They proceeded to lose 15 straight.
Didn't these two teams... Who played week 1 last year and tied? The Colts.
Tied?
The Colts and the... There's two AFC South teams. Was it the Texans?
Yeah. I think last year it might have been 2021. But it was some year. No, it was last year.
It was last year because I'm pretty sure. Both teams lost the next week, and then no, we had 2 ties in week 1 last year. That's what it was.
Who else tied?
I forgot. But I remember because 2 weeks later, the 2 teams that tied played each other. Or maybe it was the next week.
I think so. Anyway, Jaguars, Colts. Jags favored by 5. I'm going to go with the Jags on the road.
Yeah, same.
Bucks, Vikings. Battle of elite quarterback play. I'm going to go with the Vikings at home.
Yeah, me too.
Vikings at home. I need to stop yawning, bro.
We're almost done. We've almost made it.
All right. Steelers, Niners. Both teams. I think the Steelers are really good in week 1 and the Niners not so much. I'm going to go with the Steelers at home. Get the job done.
Pick.
Get the job done. Week
Give me
1.
the Steelers.
Cardinals, Commanders. Cardinals going to be without Kyler Murray for a few weeks.
Cardinals
Commanders starting Sam Howell.
I'm going to Commanders.
Give me the Commanders by probably a blowout. Cardinals are that bad. They went from being an 11-win team just a few years ago to being really bad.
I think they're starting Clayton Tune at quarterback.
Oh boy.
Unless Josh Dobbs starts, but I think they said
I think Josh Dobbs is going to start because they traded for him.
Maybe.
So I think Dobbs is going to start that game. Texans, Ravens. Bernard Pollard Bowl.
Give me the Ravens.
Give me the Ravens. The Ravens are going to be really good this year. Ravens are going to be really, really good this year. Extremely good. No further evaluation. Packers, Bears. Chicago. Oh, goodness, man. Why?
You give me Chicago.
Hold on. Packers, Bears. Chicago is actually favored in this one by a point, but they're still favored. Give me the Pack.
Give me Chicago. Love. I'll take the Bears.
Jordan Love didn't look so great in his last road start, but we'll go with the Packers, man. Packers get it done. They own the Bears. Rodgers owns the Bears, but the Packers also do, in a way. So, give me the Pack. Week 1, Bears-Packers is always a fun game. Raiders, Broncos. They're having a mid-off. I'm going to go. Who's worse?
Give me the Broncos.
I'll go with the Raiders. I have Devontae Adams on my fantasy team, so let's go Raiders. Eagles, Patriots. One of the more interesting matchups of the weekend. Many people believe Eagles are going to finish second in the division to the Cowboys. I don't believe that, but I believe the Eagles are going to beat the Patriots in week 1. Give me the Eagles.
Give me the Patriots with an upset.
Patriots at home take down the Eagles. I wouldn't be that surprised if that happened. Dolphins, Chargers. Probably the most exciting game, in my opinion. Give me the Dolphins.
I'll take the Chargers.
Had Miami winning in college. Got Miami winning in the pros, too. Give me the Dolphins.
I'll take the Chargers.
Oh, boy. We're almost done. Rams, Seahawks. At Lumen Field in Seattle. Give me the Seahawks. I don't know. Is Matt Stafford hopefully
Christian Gonzalez is playing. You report to camp. You report to practice, so or not Christian Gonzalez, Devon Witherspoon.
I was like, what?
Devon Witherspoon did report to camp, so
Devon Witherspoon, injury scare, but he is back. We're going to go back to running.
Yeah, he also is back from the injury. Forgot about that. But he did report to camp from his Rookie holdout, too.
Yeah. We're going to go Seattle. Cowboys.
Will JSN be back?
No, I don't think so. He'll probably be back by week 2 or 3.
Well, they had said that he had optimism to play week 1, so I didn't know.
Cowboys, Giants, Sunday Night Football. Give me the Giants at home. Give me the Giants in Jersey.
Smith and Jigba participated in practice Monday. Anyway,
I would say he misses at least week 1 or something. Yeah, but give me the Giants.
Give me the Cowboys.
Cool. Now, the Monday night game.
I love how it shows, like on ESPN, it shows the season leaders, and Cooper Rush is the passing leader.
Elite quarterback in Cooper Rush. Now, I was gonna make a joke about the Jets playing on September 11th, but they don't even play in New York. They play in New Jersey. It would be so much funnier if they actually played in New York City. It wouldn't be funny, but it would be funny. The Bills probably play.
We're gonna get canceled.
Yeah, we're gonna get struck down before we get anywhere close to where we want to be. I'm gonna go with the Bills on 9/11.
Give me the New York Jets.
Rodgers' first game as a Jet is on Monday night. It'd be the end of this episode. We appreciate you guys listening. Please, 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 please hit that subscribe button down below and turn on post notifications so you guys never, ever miss when we upload a podcast episode. We are, follow us on Spotify, follow us on Apple Podcasts, follow on Amazon Podcasts, wherever you guys get your podcasts. We are located there. Follow us there. And we will be back next week, and we will be completely in full throttle with football season by then. Cannot wait. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It is football season, and we will see you guys next week.